Grydscaen Sentinels Bloodline by Natsuya Uesugi Audio Drama Chapter 4 Part 1 The Lost Ground. The Zone Center End Atlantia Federation Patrol. Suspected Venus Satellite Crash Site Coordinates. Snarling, Ryuho was haunted by memories of the day as a child when he was banished from the city by the Viceroy. Irritation growing, he hated his elder brother Lino. The wound deep, stung to the core. A tingle at the back of his throat, deep inside, twisted his soul into a dark place. Hands on hips, the sand beneath his feet moved as he shifted his weight, fighting to keep his balance on the slippery ground. His defection from the Pacific Territories complete, he revealed in his new position, reveling in it, as an Atlantia Federation clandestine psychic operative. Once he had sworn allegiance to the Atlantia Federation, leaving his homeland, the nation of his birth. He swore he would destroy his past from this day forward. Planting his feet wide, he jumped into the air, boosters on the back of his black and gray military-style anti-radiation suit, throwing him off the ridge into the air, belching exhaust from the Ketic cell thrusters. Descending as he hovered, he flew over the rim, touching down meters away at the mouth of the gaping blast crater known as Center's End. The heels of his steel-toed boots sunk deep in the loose dirt as he lost his footing, sliding fast down the steep slope. Leaning forward, trying to balance the sticky radioactive dust clumping under his boots as he surfed the sand, his descent kicking up swirling clouds. Hovering as he spun, chaotic, he was greeted by a desolate black pit of devastation, left behind by the explosion caused by the Dionysus Effect nuclear bomb when the Atlantia Federation attacked the Pacific Territories. That day, the world had descended into chaos, igniting the blood red incident that plunged the planet into a seemingly endless global war that consumed humanity in ways no one could have imagined. Flaky grains of fine sand swirled about him as he touched down, regaining his footing. Testing, he stepped carefully, the ground unstable. Looking around, he wandered through the wrestled concrete, the disfigured remains of what was once a sprawling skyline of majestic high-rise buildings and shops. Now, an obliterated wasteland, he was standing in the center of the flashpoint that had destroyed the zone. Regal apartment complexes, powerful corporate centers, neon billboards, a once thriving metropolis. Now all that remained were the jutting remnants of mangled girders and shattered concrete that grasped for the sun, laden in piles of useless obsidian speckled pebbles, blasted instantly into diamonds and broiled marble. The slick glass shards of the radioactive disaster that had killed tens of thousands in the Pacific Territories. Black gunmetal tech anti-radiation uniforms shining in the wan sunlight, a coat of sticky gray-red radioactive soot coated his suit. The crater was deathly quiet, the lack of any sound unnatural, leaving an eerie calm that smothered, making him anxious. Muscles tensed, he furrowed his brows, a frown snaking across his face, losing patience with the 3 Janai soldiers he had ordered to comb the area, their search taking too long, already lagging behind schedule, that ISK, the Atlantia Federation Chancellor, had ordered the team under Ryuho's command to follow. The Janai scanned the basin with highly sensitive devices, attempting to locate the black box from the Venus satellite that had been ejected when it was attacked, forcing the satellite from orbit, sending it to crash land on the planet. The main power panels had burned up as it entered the atmosphere. His handhold logging it had crashed when it downed 12 hours ago. The Janai were hard at work looking for the black box, the high-pitched beeps and pings reacting to the remains of the shattered metallic square, the target close as the pitch of the pings ticked higher, buried by the force of impact, hidden deep within the bosom of granular radioactive sand. Ryuho watched on, the beeping of the trackers as the Janai crisscrossed the crater, searching the scattered broken metal, twisted carcass of technological components. Beeping growing louder, a second Janai moved his scanner over a pile of distressed metal, kicking a rod free as guards protected their prize at all costs. The pings going wild as the Janai dug into the sand. The tall Atlantia Federation soldier held his fist high as the pings raced higher as he halted the team's movements. The Janai holding the scanner over a raised pile of debris. Target acquired. A soldier got down on his hands and knees, digging frantically into the brambles of twisted metal as the Janai continued holding the scanner over the area. Chiming suddenly, the soldier motioned, calling out, "Master Ryuho, we found something." Ryuho jumped off the ledge, feet slapping the slope as he slid fast, descending into the crater, the boosters compensating as he shifted his weight, landing next to the soldier. Slapping the soldier out of the way, Ryuho hovered over the Janai, barking orders, who dropped his scanner and began to dig, combing the sand as he uncovered the sharp corner of the black box. He released the box from his burial mound, holding it up to Ryuho as it shined in the wan sun. The right corner of the control box damaged. The display on the front flashed an error in red text, 444, Fuyo, 51. "What is Fuyo?" The soldier looked over at Ryuho, who slapped him on the back, his head swiping the black box out of his hand, sending him to the dirt. Interrogating the device, Ryuho typed the stolen passcode at the keypad, brought off the black market, forcing a reaction. The box causing additional response codes, granting him access to the security function. Code scrolling fast across the screen as the Vena system attempted to reset, make contact with command from the family program. Spinning on his heels as the system displayed a code confirming now he had access, the message flashed in green on the screen. Ryuho barked, turning towards the rim of the crater. "We have what he came for. RTB." The boosters igniting, Ryuho launched high into the air, flying over the basin, landing at the crater's mouth, touching down as he returned to their transport vehicle above. Troops following the team returned to the surface with their equipment, loading the vehicle, which started the long trip through the Badlands in the zone, returning to the base, arriving an hour later. The transport vehicle docking with the main ship, arriving at the main cab, the loud clang of docking clamps settling, secured the smaller transport vehicle on the pad in the hangar. "Mobile transport command vehicle docking complete. Dock personnel, please, ready docking post-check procedures for stand down." The command base ready to move out, a flurry of activity in the dock initiated as departure preparations for their journey to the Echelon's border would start in an hour, moving in close, but remaining outside the Pacific Territory's surveillance presence range. The transport vehicle's door raising slowly, Ryuho ducked, slipping free, the door half open. Storming down the ramp as it lowered in front of him, he yanked at the collar of a guard, saluting him, pulling him close, getting in his face in a rage. The soldier braced, blinking quickly, unable to predict Ryuho's next action, sensing anger, ready to assist his superior. Glaring, teeth bared, Ryuho picked the soldier up, raising him off the floor by the round metal collar and his anti-radiation suit. Feet dangling beneath him, fear in the guard's eyes. "Where's Isk?" "Master Ryuho, Isk is in the DNA lab." The soldier pointed to a thick gray blast door marked with red the word Cybernetics Lab North on the spacious docking bay door. Throwing the soldier hard into the far wall like a rag doll, landing on his ass, Ryuho stormed away, abandoning the discarded human plaything, attending to his next target. Soldiers backed away as Ryuho moved towards the lab door, bowing their heads, submitting, seeing the scowl on his face, wary of his wrath, knowing if they crossed him, they were putting their own lives in danger. Ryuho was known to snap at any perceived wrong. A sideways look, misplaced glance, innocent question, The guards were afraid of him, knowing that he had killed a few low-ranked guards not less than 24 hours earlier. Black box in hand, Ryuho impatiently waited as the door slid open onto the lab and was immediately confronted by two Janai security guards blocking his path inside. Flashing his ID badge, one of the guards subjected him to a retinal scan, which he passed, finally gaining access to the glass double doors into the main lab area. He was confronted by the enormous heads-up display that spanned the entire back wall, showing locations of interest the Atlantea Federation was currently tracking. Ryuho slapped the back box on the terminal, plugging it into the central computer, glancing sideways at the Trans-Channeler Isk as he paced, anxious at the console in his long, white outfit with the black sigil of his station on the front, showing that he was a Trans-Channeler, all-powerful, able to see the past, present, and future at the same time. Irritated, Isk scowled at Ryuho, having been out, his recent nanomachines enhancements not yet certified, unstable, their genetic sync not fully cleared, his behavior erratic, the threat of Ryuho snapping, his mind regressing or even collapsing under the stress of his cellular modifications, a human psychic experiment, as Isk's latest human cellular regeneration gene manipulation project. The risky procedure was illegal, even by a trained genetic engineer, but Isk weighed the danger against the potential increase in Ryuho's psychic power that the changes promised. Ryuho watched the system logs from the main terminal as it scanned the black box, results flashing over the heads-up, scrolling faster than the eye could read. The massive amount of data encrypted Ryuho's eyes due to his enhancements and allowed him to track the data feed from the computer, reading the stream of information as the data downloaded to the command center terminal. Hitting the monitor, he halted the stream, locking the display, highlighting a relevant data set. The error displayed on screen. As he looked at it, it said, Fuyo. Ryuho turned. What is Fuyo 5-1? It's peering over his shoulder at the logs, keen in response. Interesting. Seems our little Pacific Territories Emperor, Lina Dejar, is key to this data. The Pacific Territories is sniffing. Everything is moving along as planned. End chapter 4, part 1.